What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Netflix series Sex Education Season 2. Hey, before you watch this review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you would like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. First up, I would like to say thank you to Netflix for granting me the screener to the entire 8 episodes of this new season. Now, you know the drill. They've asked me to not spill spoilers. I kid you not, they actually gave me a long list informing me of which major pivotal plot points in this new season 2 that I should not reveal to you. So as always, I will honor their request and I'll do my best to share with you my thoughts without revealing any specific crucial details. This video might have a bit of context from season 1, but other than that, for the most part, as far as season 2 is concerned, this video review is spoiler free. Now, I was a huge fan of the first season, especially that one scene during that prom episode where Otis gave that big speech about how love is just dumb luck. Sometimes you find someone who feels the same way about you, and sometimes you're not as lucky. It was a very well-written speech that resonated with a lot of us lonely folks out there. To me, Sex Education is a fascinating show, not only because of its bluntness when talking about sex, and not only because the comedy is absolutely hilarious, but also because this show's way of handling matters of the heart is profound and it doesn't beat around the bush, if you catch my drift. And season 2 is just as marvelous. There are new relationships blossoming, which of course lead to certain complications, and then there are old relationships that now have to examine themselves to see where they stand at this point. This season 2 also bravely tackles the issue of sexual assault, along with, of course, more misconceptions about sexuality, and that is where our hero, Otis, usually comes in. But he's not the only one being the school's sexual Yoda this time around. So yes, if the humor doesn't draw you in, the characters will. Set in the fictional English small town of Moordale, Sex Education is created by Laurie Nunn and it focuses on Otis Milburn, played by Asa Butterfield, an inexperienced, socially awkward high school student who lives with his mother, a sex therapist. Surrounded by manuals, videos, and open conversations about sex, Otis becomes a reluctant expert on the subject. The girl he has a crush on, a smart, bad girl named Maeve, makes him realize that he can actually use his specialist knowledge to gain status and make some money. But through his analysis of teenage sexuality, Otis also realizes that he may need some therapy of his own. Okay, quick recap, and this might be a bit spoilery if you haven't seen season 1, so heads up here. But if you recall, by the end of season 1, Maeve and Adam got kicked out, and Otis and Ola became a couple. There, that should be enough to refresh your memories, my fellow Sex Education fans. Now, season 2's comedy starts out strong, and you'll see why that is through the unforgettable, hilarious scene involving Otis and his mom in the first episode. But I feel that as the subsequent episodes progress, this new season seems to be toning down its comedy just a tiny bit. I'm thinking maybe it does that so that when the addressing the sexual assault part kicks in, you, the audiences, would take it seriously. The writers still sprinkle humor here and there at the expense of the characters not understanding certain aspects about human sexuality, which, as you know, is pretty much this show's appeal. But instead of going for laugh out loud, it goes for informative and solidarity. Those who know me well know that Gillian Anderson is my celebrity crush. Let me just say that I love her in this role. Listening to the woman that I've worshipped since X-Files days talk about labia and clitoris and anal sex and masturbation. At first, it's kind of shocking hearing those words come out of her mouth, but eventually I can't get enough of her uttering them. Back on The X-Files, Jillian was more measured, but here on Sex Education, she is so invigorating. As for Asa Butterfield, he's back as that good-hearted, well-intentioned Otis who's now dating Ola. This new season 2 lets you in on Otis and Ola exploring how to best pleasure each other physically. Their trial and errors remind us of how awkward and terrible we all were when we were younger, curious and experimenting about similar stuff. One of the things that I genuinely enjoyed about season 1 was the will they, won't they sexual tension between Maeve and Otis, which is why that big prom speech was so powerful. Well, in season 2, the roles are a bit reversed. It is now Maeve who's crushing on Otis, but Maeve can't do anything about it because Otis has a girlfriend. This situation is like Lois Lane and Clark Kent, or Scully and Mulder. The show knows that you, the audiences, desperately want to see Otis and Maeve be together officially as a couple, but they just don't want to give that to you so easily, or at least not this soon, because they know that the unrequited feelings between these two characters are the very reason why you would sit through the entire 8 episodes. It is an irresistible, attractive tease game, and they're gonna continue to play it out for however long they could. Season 2 also culminates into another big school event that clearly points out the story's big bad villain. Let me just leave it at that. And the way that the story essentially forces the characters to grow and to come to a full understanding of themselves and their loved ones is nothing short of compelling. I feel like season 2 dares to go there way more and way further than where season 1 was willing to. Season 2's emotional beats seem to also be very well placed. If only the conversations we have in the real world about sex and love could be just as brutally honest as the conversations that the characters on this show have with each other. Maybe then we would be more courageous to stand up for ourselves. Maybe then there would be less repressed tension. And most importantly, maybe then we would be more open-minded to try or learn something new, deep, and life-affirming.